output, you will see it's big. It would like take up Gardner Gods Road, period, right? It's a big deal. And it brings in other businesses, right? Panasonic's locating there. Snap, one of the big data centers, right? They're locating there. So it's one of those kind of lost leaders. It's like having Sears in one of your shopping malls, right? They're the anchor tenant, and other people come along. Maybe Sears is a bad example.
Let's go with Macy's.
Move on from that. Yeah.
So,
I'm wondering where tourism fits in here.
Okay, so tourism, it's interesting. Tourism employs a lot of people, right? It employs approximately, as I recall, 40,000 people, but it only contributes 5% to gross domestic product. So tourism is interesting, employs a lot of people, but it's not an economic driver. Okay? The big economic drivers today, by far and away, government spending, defense contractors, and military.
But could it be bigger? I mean, is
The
that
challenge,
an area of growth?
the challenge, and forgive me, I don't have all the exact numbers, but if you think of the people involved in tourism, service industries, they tend to have kind of the lower salaries. If they have the lower salaries, they don't have the discretionary income to pay on taxable items. If they don't buy taxable items, then the city doesn't collect sales tax.
I'm thinking more in terms of the tourists coming and dropping their dollars.
Yes, I mean, that's, it's certainly significant, but as I said, even with that, it's currently 5% of GDP, right? So it would have to be really big, right? And of course, if you go back 30, 40 years, as a percent of the then Colorado Springs GDP that didn't have high tech, didn't have defense contractors, many of them, it was significant,
Right.
right? But I think you would have to grow, to staggering levels now to achieve that sort of economic output. Yeah. Yes, back.
Did you break down the economic or the population growth numbers? Was it people coming from out of state, or was it organic in-state growth, or was it young, babies, or was it seniors moving here to retire?
Yeah, as I recall, and this is going back to my days on the quality of life indicators, I believe our natural growth is, I want to say 3,500, 4,000 people a year is natural growth. Okay, so with that, those numbers that I think you saw up there, very crudely, let's just say it's 10,000 people a year, average, right? So a little under half of that is natural growth, the net of deaths and births, right? The rest of it is new people coming here. And if you want to go actually see those exact numbers, go Google Pikes Peak United Way, quality of life indicators, and look at, I think it's their 2014 or 2013 report, and at the front of that report you'll see those exact numbers.
I think we'll take one or two more questions for that.
One sounds good.
Maybe one more. Who's dying to ask a question?
All right.
I do have a question.
Go.
Is the comprehensive plan going to be for Colorado Springs, or is it going to be for the MSA?
It's going to be
The
for Colorado
regional-
Springs.
There's been some discussion of trying to deal with some of these regional issues. Matter of fact, we talked to the county. The county was part of the selection process, but at this point in time, it is a plan for the city of Colorado Springs, and probably will reach out a little bit to annexation issues, potential for coordination with the county, but it'll be the city's plan.
And the reason this is so important, kind of project leader for this whole initiative, and it's going to take time. There'll be lots of citizen involvement. They've got a whole plan to get many of you involved, and from a communication standpoint as well as input. Right now, if you look, I think Banning Lewis accounts for 65% of the crudely the undeveloped land in the city, right? It's going to be very important how we plan that, and the things that Carl works on, communication corridors, east-west, north-south, how do people get to work. I know when I was at Rockwell and they looked at the plan we had back in the 90s, what they loved about Colorado Springs, the plan then was, and I think Quinn Heights was the name of the guy that was involved, they liked the concept of people being able to live, work, and play in the kind of same quadrants of the city. They didn't see a need for a lot of people going all over the place, right, to get to work, etc. Well, times change, But I think those are some of the things that Carl and the people that are working on this kind of look at, because that determines the quality very much of your community. Otherwise, we can become LA, right? Everybody comes up from the valleys and they go down to Seal Beach, and they go from, you know, the Inland Empire to go to downtown LA, right? And they spend 2 hours each way going backwards and forwards to work. Not good. Okay, well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Sarah,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.
Survive.